Welcome back, everybody, to the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series. We're back for round 3. There's no broadcast for round 2. There's going to be highlights out soon for round 2 for anyone who wants to catch up from the chaos at Long Beach. But we're here today at Laguna Seca. I'm joined by Kirby. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Laguna Seca is one of those tracks where you look at it, you look how tight it is, you look how twisty it is, and you look at the amount of cars we're trying to shove into it, you know there's going to be fireworks coming at every single angle.
Massimiliano Ligeri then crosses the line to go quicker and is then beaten by Nespolini a fraction of a second later. Weird in iRacing, you tend to see the new car dominate as Oriol Folt goes to the top, followed quickly by Ignis in the Acura. As we talk about new cars dominating, goes to the top by just under 2.5 tenths of a second. Stop driver drives to the line. Jay Zebran goes to provisional pole position. A 1:13.6 flat. Walker goes to the top with a purple lap time, a 1:13.375 to put himself just under a tenth clear of Christian Glaumstadt.
But it looked like they came together.
James Zebran. Oh, double spin. Spinning in sympathy is what that was. Lely sets the benchmark time of 1:11.192. That was, oh come on, we've got them flying in. David van der Back currently sits second, Matthias Weitin P3, Juanto Avale P4, Alvaro Gutierrez P5. Instead of more, before we got any more in, I think Van der Moelenbroek is going to be next across the line, except it doesn't look like that time counted. So Ayrton Koikhoven is going to be next across the line. I'm going to try and find that camera to show you. Here he is in the Acura, comes to the line at 1:11.192. No, it's not, that's Lely's time. Just not updated yet. It's a 1:11.810. Jeffrey Ross across the line as well. We'll see where that time puts him. P4 for Jeffrey Ross. Lely, though, is flying with all purples on his second lap. Now the tyres are up to temperature a little bit more. Kind of going to be 2 laps and done in the GTP with the hybrid system as well. So what does Lely do this time? By a 1:08.846, and he does carry on again, in fact. So it looks like people are maybe doing 3 runs. Quinton Verdonk goes P3, Moniz Heister goes to P4, Simon Bamber to P4 now. Well, it's been an interesting session, but not much has happened at the front because Lely has just gone quicker and quicker and quicker. Carlos Ponce is going to put the time on the board. It's only P12, but this is first time of the session. We'll be pretty happy with that. Quinton Verdonk does not improve on that lap.
Limiters on for these starts till we get to the start zone, at which point Ross will drop. I can't remember where the tarmac is. It's about here.
There we go. Ross can go now, and he does go. It's green. Jeffrey Ross makes a good start, but I think that's Matthias Weitin trying to go around the outside of Jean-Paul Seaman, the man that was third on the grid. Is going to maintain the position as he hangs his teammate out to dry, it looks like, and they all slot in nicely. Everybody, no, not everybody making it their way through turn 1. In fact, it does look like everyone eventually made it through. LMP2 are green as well. Christian Glaumstadt in P2 defending from James Ibram, who's made his way up the inside, and he's going to slot through into P2, but he's going to fight back for Glaumstadt, who gets back ahead of him on power as they make their way into turn 3. Got one tower in LMP2, it looks like.
Car from the background there.
Andy Jaeger, that is. In some sort of instant, it looks like Ignis Vincerescu is going to lead the GT3 field to green. Jeffrey Ross has had an instant now, trying to find out what's happened to him. He's just dropped down the order significantly. We'll have a replay later on, and apologies, not sure what's going on here, but that is Ignis down in someone. What's happened to Ignis's teammate, though? Who didn't even make it to the green flag, it looks like. Very, very bizarre. Ignis leads his way through turn 3 as they're right on the back of one of the LMP2 cars, which is not ideal at all.
Daniel Rock spin, turn 5. Doesn't look like he's got anyone.
Just got aero wash on the way in, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
Instant for Sander de Boer.
Big pile up.
Emiliano Ligeri.
Sander de Boer.
Yeah, here he goes. I think this is going to be the catalyst for the incident. It's not happened quite yet. Not sure what's going to happen here. Massimiliano Ligeri down the inside.
Oh, that's a dive from the
and that's a
hypercar.
tag, yeah. Oh.
Still, you can see how dangerous it is for these hypercars to try and carve through this traffic because they're trying to race each other and you're trying to pass them on a very narrow track with just enough room to make that move. Your Jean-Paul Seaman does manage to hold on to it 3 wide past 2 GT3s on the very tight exit turn 6. In the LMP2
sorry, is that LMP2? And the Hoover,
yeah,
all over the back of him as they make way through more traffic. There is so much gravel on the road at the moment, it's going to be really affecting the grip level. The Hoover has a look down the inside, is not going to work there though. Let's follow along with this battle for a little bit. And that's not a good view.
No, I think that's a really good view actually.
Tell you who does know what's going on, it's Quinton, it's Jeffrey Ross. He's all over the back of Quinton Verdonk, practically pushing the Ferrari in front through some of these corners. Ross obviously started
car around him on Shorten. It's got us a massive pile up, gets spun on the apex of a corner, nobody had anywhere to go.
What's going to cause this then? Is it the GCP coming through? No, it's not. And that's Kovac going to go down the inside.
It's dived, yeah.
Oh, contact with Vasat James Ebram, the leader in LMP2 as well. Yes, it was. So Christian Glamster back in the lead. That was James Ebram who got caught up in that in LMP2. That's going to put Glamster back in the lead by 5 seconds, who made it through unscathed.
Wild rides. This race isn't going to be over until it's over. Unfortunately, at that point, I think a lot of these cars might have retired thanks to damage.
Alessandro Lelli, Carlos Pons for P7 here. And Pons going defensive early, but not much in the tank to match what
Daniel
Lelli's
Reck
able
off
to
track, huge hits. Ends up sideways on the track of Varley as well.
Oh, side by side with the GTP. Into turn 6, not going to end well.
You remember what I said earlier about you don't want to be too wide through turn 6? You don't want to be too wide through turn 6.
So they've proven to us. Adam Jarvis is right on the back of his teammate Oriel Falk right now. And Noor Sakhani is also on the back of these two. There's the LMP2 leader. I think that is Christian Glamster going to try and make his way through. James Ebram only 6 seconds off these guys now that he's recovered from that incident that he unfortunately got caught up in. Avali is going to get a penalty for that incident that we just saw that GTP on LMP2 in turn 6.
I don't actually remember what procedure is for that. I think it might be an interesting.
I don't think that Oriel Falk and Adam Jarvis have pitted yet, and they haven't because they're both in this time round, or at least Adam is. I think Oriel's maybe gone one more lap, has he? Oriel's gone another lap, and they've gone halfway. Yeah, this is exactly what they did at Indianapolis last season. At this team to go another lap longer, a couple of laps longer than everyone else. They will actually make this race a one-stop.
Because those two are normally very good on fuel. They're normally last to pit in most sequences anyway, and especially if you're being held up a lot where you're having to check up for traffic, you can get a bit more lift and a bit more coast, and you can absolutely make half-race distance given how this track is set up. I can fully... The way we went to this track, I'm like, oh yeah, you can probably go for a one-stop here, and I think those two are going to try it. Did you see? Peter Plines. I believe that might just been a self-spin for turn 3.
Quick look, and this is when Liam de Kock was all over the back of him. That's going to let Liam through.
A bit of pressure.
P7, I believe, for Liam. Varley looks to be having a little bit of a moment as well.
That might have been the same incident in a different car. Yep.
Yeah, carbon copy. Have a nice little scrap here, aren't we? Oh, down the inside, Quinton Verdonk on Ayrton Kooijkanen in the final corner, and that's going to unsettle his car a lot. And I think this is going to give Jeffrey Ross a mega run, but he can't make it work on the exit as the other two start to pull away.
I think Kooijkanen just got a little bit early on the brakes. I don't think Verdonk was looking to make that move, but had to make an evasive action to get out of the way of Kooijkanen. At that point, Verdonk just goes, oh, I have the speed, I can make the dive, I can make the overtake and make it stick. Verdonk now in P3.
Looks like Verdonk and Ross both quicker than Kooijkanen here as well, but Ross is going to have to stick behind his teammate for a little bit, and that's going to give Quinton Verdonk a little bit of breathing room, but he desperately needs. Lely also on his charge back through the field after missing the start is right on the back of Matthäus Weitz here. Van der Heuvel going to have another run into turn 1 if he can. There's going to be a GT3 this time to make it even spicier, but he's not close enough for Ascend. But I'll tell you who is close enough for Ascend. Emre Kamaldov sends it on the GT3 in front. That was car number 90.
Yeah,
which is Ferran Bailon, yeah.
Yeah, like, you have to make that move if you're the lead car of KL.A. Like, if you stop, you know you're going to get dived. You have to be the aggressor in situations like that. And just unfortunately, I think the GT3 might have expected a little bit more patience that couldn't really be afforded, unfortunately. Fair. It was a robust shot. No.
Thinks better of it. Worth noting as well that Van der Heuvel has 14 incident points, but Emre Kamaldov's racked up 17, so one more, and that'll be a penalty for Kamaldov, so he can't afford an off-track or any contact at all, although contact would also send Sebastian Van der Heuvel to the pit lane for a drive-through. So this is really, really interesting. These two have got to be on their best behaviour as they come to blows.
Good move there by Van der Heuvel, though, to get the run off of turn 6. I don't think he had the ability to get that run generated, but just ends up outspeeding Keldar down the back stretch, and then just gets deeper on the brakes into the corkscrew and just blows the doors off him.
Although Christian Glamscher is now stuck behind a blue flagged car and a blue flagged car, but that's contact on the straight. That's Pete Preens, who should have been. I think he's not happy with what happened with the GT3. He was obviously trying to let his class leader through, and he's got a meatball. He's going to try and get it back to the pit lane. Let's take another look at what happened just then. It's really hard to tell from that angle. Let's try and get one more angle.
I'm glad I don't have to be raised control for this, but yeah, that is just a weird one. Preens, I think, comes across trying to take the line, presumes the GT3 is going to do the same. I don't know if the GT3 washed out or Preens cut across too hard, but either way, LMP2 loops across the front stretch, tags the wall, as you said, gets that meatball flag. Through everything we've had so far, we are at least going to get a race to the finish in the lead category, so I'll take it for what it's worth. White flag, 1 to go, here we go. Looks like Siemens come back to life a little bit, the gap not going down again. Looks to maintain about half a second as Wagner needs to find a way to get past the fellow DLR driver. See it given an opportunity, and they are very few and far between on this track. Dare I say it? Are we going to see the diver to turn? No,
the GT3 from their own team. What's that contact there? I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it.
Looks like there was minor contact, but they'll get through it okay. Too far back for diving to the corkscrews. I'll offset, try and build something here.
Vincerescu as well looks like he's going to try and make it to at least 7 seconds ahead of Falk, so I don't know how he's done this on fuel. That's very impressive. Jarvis is right on the back of Falk as well in GT3 Pro.
It's a dive? Seaman just about to hold on. He will win this race. Van der Wacker can't make it happen, but it will still be a DLR 1-2 at the finish of this race, at least provisionally.
That was far closer than we ever expected that battle to be. What's happened to Quinton Verdonk? Because Quinton Verdonk has tumbled down the order. He had to make a pit stop, an additional pit stop at the end, because he hit his incident limits, and he shot down to P6. Edson Koikoven is going to come home for P3, and he's going to go side by side with his teammate Jeffrey Ross across the line as they both slow up to finish side by side for the picture finish. That's Jeffrey Ross P4, Edson Koikoven P3. Very, very impressive finish for the team. Lely, after all of that, is going to recover to 5th. He'll be pretty pleased with that, you'd have to say. Christian Glamscher has won in LMP2. Sebastian Van der Heuvel finished 2nd, and Ryan Walker P3. Ignis Vincerescu somehow made it work on fuel to finish 1st, despite pitting about 5 minutes earlier than the others. That was incredible fuel mileage in the Acura. Adam Jarvis and Oriel Falk finished just 2 tenths apart. I think that was maybe an overtake for Jarvis at the end, because I believe he was behind Falk. the most that stint. Kallenberger finishes first, only 20 seconds ahead of Botkoven in the end. So I think that must have been a pit stop advantage that Kallenberger had when he was 40 seconds in front.
I don't think the DLR car has realised everyone's trying to get to their pit boxes still.
Thanks for everyone that joined us, and we'll see you next time.